You're alone at home. Nobody is watching. But your brain is still behaving as if you're in a crowd. This is one of the strangest discoveries in modern neuroscience. You don't need to actually be observed for your brain to act as if you are. The observer is inside your head. Think about how you behave when you're alone versus when you're with other people. You talk differently. You move differently. You make different choices. But why? If nobody is watching, why does it matter? The answer lies in how your brain evolved. For millions of years, being in a group was the difference between living and dying. Your reputation in the group determined whether you had access to resources, protection, reproductive opportunities. So your brain developed an obsessive system of social monitoring. But here's the strange thing, this system doesn't shut off when you're alone. It keeps running. Because your brain can't really know if it's being observed or not. There could be cameras. There could be people hiding. There could be consequences you don't foresee. So your brain takes the safe approach, it assumes you're always being watched. Researchers did a simple experiment. They put a fake camera in a room. They told people the camera was on, even though it wasn't. People behaved as if they were being observed. Their behavior changed. Their choices changed. All because they believed there was an observer. But here's the really disturbing part, people also changed their behavior when there was just a drawing of two eyes on the wall. Two simple eyes. Not a real camera. Not a real person. Just a drawing. And it was enough to activate the social monitoring system. Your brain can't differentiate between a real observer and the idea of an observer. To your brain, they're the same. Both activate the same reputation management system. Now think about how you behave when you're alone. Are you still behaving? Are you still making choices based on how you think you'd be judged? Probably yes. Because you've internalized the observer. You've become your own critic. Your own audience. You judge yourself the way you imagine others would judge you. And this internal judgment is often harsher than any external judgment. That's why people feel shame even when nobody is watching. That's why people punish themselves for failures that nobody else knows about. That's why people keep secrets, not because someone would find out, but because they themselves know. The detail almost nobody notices is that this internal observer isn't you. It's a construction your brain made based on every person who's ever judged you. It's a mixture of your parents, your teachers, your friends, society. It's a voice that isn't yours, but that you've internalized so well it feels like it is. And this voice is always talking. Always judging. Always calculating how you'd be perceived. Some researchers call this self-monitoring, monitoring yourself. And they've discovered that people with high self-monitoring are more sensitive to what others think. They change their behavior more drastically depending on the situation. They're more socially anxious. They have more difficulty knowing who they really are, because they're always adjusting their presentation. But here's the paradox, even people with low self-monitoring still have this internal observer. They just ignore it better. Or maybe they have a less critical internal observer. The real question is, how do you know who you really are if you're always being watched, even if only by yourself? That's one of the deepest questions you can ask. Because it suggests that maybe you're never really alone. That maybe there's always an observer. And that maybe this observer is you. So the next time you're alone, pay attention. Pay attention to how you behave. Pay attention to how you talk. Pay attention to how you choose. Because you might discover that you're not really alone. That there's an invisible observer. And that this observer is you all along.